do that hopefully this weekend, right?
Mrs. Bull. At this time, we're going to go ahead and present our commission piece, Legacy Sounding. I wanted to say just a few words on behalf of the piece. First off, I'm very honored to get to conduct this piece. My first year at Belton was 2019, and so I got to work a little bit with Kim Flowers as the Lake Belton, as she was the Lake Belton Middle School head director right before the Lake Belton split. So their students fit directly into our program. And Mark Nalley was actually teaching trumpet lessons at the time with the band program. And you know, I was a new band director, a new young band director, and I just saw the lesson teacher and I was like, oh, that guy seems pretty cool. And so for the first few months, I was like, yeah, that cool trumpet teacher guy. And then I learned what a legend he was and how important he was to the Belton high school community and past M100 members that had him as an educator. And he was so down to earth. He was so, you know, understanding of what the kids were going through, and was just a really, really awesome educator. And I could feel that energy from him with the brief time that we spent as we were working together at Belton High School. So I'm very, very honored to get to conduct this piece, despite only knowing him for a short time. So because of that, I thought it was really important to invite another former director of band here at Belton High School that worked much more closely with Mark Nalley to speak a little bit about the piece and go through the program notes with you. So I'd like to go ahead and present it now. Please welcome to the stage Mr. Scott Dudley.
Good evening. It is a pleasure to be on the stage with the Marching 100 once again. I student taught here in 1995 when the Marching 100 won the state marching contest for 4A. That actually also means I began my tenure at Belton 30 years ago this year. Also, 10 years ago this month that I conducted my last concert with Marching 100. So Belton is a very, very special place, not only to me, but to many, many people here in the audience, of course, and the community. We have some very special band family here tonight. Miss Karen Nalley, wife of the late Mark Nalley, is here tonight from Missouri. Would you please stand or wave? We also have Marching 100 alumni who were here specifically to hear the premiere that the Wind Ensemble is going to play tonight for this commission. If you were in the Marching 100 in high school and you are here tonight, would you please stand? Marching 100, it's important for you to realize that this is a very special place. Not every town is a band town. And what I mean by that is not every community supports band kids like they might other activities. I'm from San Antonio, big place. Went to Baylor, and then when I student taught, I wanted to be here because I've heard really, really great things. My percussion professor told me, bloom where you're planted. And that's pretty much what I did. Student teaching, and then here we are still. With also my wife, Carrie Dudley, who teaches elementary music at Sparta. This is year 29 at the same school. When I arrived here in 1995, Mark Nalley was the longtime director of bands at Belton. His wife, Karen, was the beginning band teacher, and I mean the beginning band teacher. Belton Middle School was built as Belton Intermediate School, a 5th and 6th grade, and Mrs. Nalley's job was to begin the band students in 6th grade, and then they got Mr. Nalley when we got to the high school. So they were this incredible team that I got to learn from. I came to them as a young student teacher finishing my music education degree, and what began as just a simple course requirement for graduation quickly became something much more. Mark hired me right out of college, giving me my first and only band directing job. Mark and Karen were true master teachers, an exceptional team. They possessed deep expertise, inspired and motivated their students. They built strong relationships, and they invested in mentoring young educators like me. They taught me how to run a rehearsal, develop my teacher voice, write lesson plans, oh God, study a music score, program a concert, but more importantly, they taught me how to treat people. A famous poet once said, "People will forget what you said. People will forget what you did. But people will never forget how you made them feel." That sentiment perfectly captures Mr. Nalley. He made his students feel valued, seen, capable, important. And I do remember right after he passed, of course, Facebook, we get to share things. And many past students would say, "Oh, I was his favorite. He made me feel his favorite." "Oh, no, I was his favorite." "What do you mean? He told me." So all that meant was he made everyone feel like they were his favorite. And I do believe that. Whether you were in his band or on his staff like I was, he wanted you to walk away with a sense of self-worth, accomplishment, purpose, and belonging. Mark Nalley's passion, discipline, and artistry shaped me, gave me a lasting perspective on teaching and leadership. He built a program rooted not only in excellence, but in care. And that combination is rare. His influence still continues to guide my work and many others. And tonight, that legacy is not just remembered, it will be heard. This piece stands as a reflection of who Mark and Kim Flowers were as teachers, mentors, builders of people, musicians whose impact reaches far beyond the podium. Their legacy lives on in every student they shaped, every colleague they mentored, and every life they touched. You may not know, but Mark and Kim, both very fabulous mentors and band directors in the Temple Belton community, both passed from cancer. Kim passed about 6 months before, or Mark passed about 6 months after Kim did. They both got their start at Temple High School. Mark's first job was with the Temple Wildcat Band. At that time, Kim was playing clarinet in that band. Then he was called here to Belton to be his first ever director of bands job in 91. And Kim went on to Travis Middle School. When they opened the intermediate school, who would be the best person to start beginners? Well, Karen Nalley. So Karen came along, who was also at Bonham Middle School. And then when they opened, I know you're not going to know this, Tarver Intermediate, which is now Lake Belton Middle School, Kim Flowers came along and was the director of bands that whole time. And to this year marks 20 years in a row of straight ones from that program that she started. Another great local connection is the composer. Jack Wilds is a Temple High School graduate and was in the Temple Wildcat Band there. So he was very familiar with Kim and Mark and the things that they did for music education and for leaders. So he was tasked with composing this piece to honor both of them. It was ready about 3 weeks ago, and then I got the program notes. It wasn't about Mark or Kim really at all. It was about the educators and the students that they influenced. Legacy Sounding is a celebration of the life and work of two beloved band directors, Kim Flowers and Mark Nalley. Both Kim and Mark were deeply loved and respected as mentors in the Belton, Texas band community. And their guidance helped to shape many young band directors into the excellent educators they have become. This is from the composer's program notes, which will then be printed and sold and marketed. This piece captures the emotional journey of a young teacher learning their craft. While not strictly programmatic, the work moves from a state of excited nervousness or apprehension into one of joyful confidence. The motive introduced in the opening bars begins in an unstable place, moving between minor and major as it finds its way towards the faster tempo. When it reaches the dance-like section, representing Kim and Mark's buoyant personalities and infectious joy for teaching, the motive takes flight, slowly gaining confidence and strength, and by the end of the work, all apprehension has been replaced by a full-throated cry of exuberance as the young teacher finds their stride. I think, ironically, that's how Mark and Kim would have it. They were leaders that never took ownership of the successes that they had with their kids. They considered their successes to be the kids that they raised through band. And they would only see it fitting that this wasn't about them, but the people that they loved and they influenced. So please enjoy the new piece by Jack Wilde's Legacy Sounding.